Hey, this is Kate. If you're enjoying the content on the Good Fight channel, then please do hit like and subscribe below. Thank you. Coach Calvin, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Big win at the weekend, 28-0 now for Gervonta. How was the weekend for you?
I don't get caught up into that. I just work for me, It's just a regular day at the job.
First off, I want to say congratulations on your success. You know what I'm saying? We grew up, each other and just watching the things you're doing, man. It's like, for me, it's amazing because, I know you like one of the most humblest guys I know, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, it's just work, but it's joy to you just because the connection that you have with this city and the kids, you know what I'm saying? So I know it's like, this ain't about the lights, you know what I'm saying, the people calling your name or none of that and stuff like that. So I know the route that you've taken with Tank and other youth in your program is like just tremendous, man. I just want to say, man, it's a blessing to watch you grow like that, man.
Thank you, man. Well, you know the deal, Kay. You've been around us for years, It's just we just doing what we love doing. That's all.
Yeah, man. So how did that fight feel? Like, I played it out that a lot of people underestimated Garcia in my eyes, but I watched some of your what you were saying. You kind of had the same spill as me as that. He was gonna try to bring out the best in Tank. Which we saw the first couple of rounds. You know what I'm saying?
He put it together. When I watched him, his speed was good. He had a little bit slickness in him. He was on point. Again, like I was sitting up there looking at when Devin Haney sit there and said he ran through him. I said, no, that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Because it took us a second to figure him out. And then when I talked to his manager coach, he said, yeah, the first day he got out on us. You know what I'm saying? I know how that first day is. He said, but the second day he looked good. And I seen glimpses of that in the fight. You know what I'm saying? Because he was touching Tank too. You know what I'm saying? And I always tell people, this is a fight. Every man has the right to touch somebody. You know what I'm saying? Made it do what it do,
Kay was talking about like just how much he enjoys seeing you and your team shine at this point in time, right? I guess I just wondered, number one, is it comfortable for you being known? Do you enjoy being known? And secondly, did you ever see this for yourself?
It's getting, because I like my privacy and I like to stay to myself, but I also like to be humble because I understand my Lord put me in this position for a specific reason. It's just finding that reason why we're doing what I'm doing, and I'm starting to see it now. But it gets a little scary because when I look at Tank is becoming that generation fighter. And a lot of people don't understand what young men are going through in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like the situation he ran into, and I strongly believe that he never did put his hands up because we preach that. We talk about that, especially as a boxer in his situation, that he couldn't do that if he wanted to do that. And he hold fast. Like when he sit there and say, he been doing this shit by himself. We just left Mayweather Promotion. We don't have certain systems in place. And we was going into our first fight. Everything was going good until that incident happened. But it was a lesson to be learned that he's not the same Tank anymore. And he's starting to realize, like, I have to move different now, So everything that we do in life is a learning. If everything was going great in our life, we ain't learning nothing. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have them pitfalls where you sit there and say, but if it happened again, that's your fault. You know what I'm saying?
I like that you said that because I saw something that Tank said, they asked him about, that. And Tank basically just replied back that, I need to be around my number ones. I respected him for saying that because along the way, so many people come along. You know me, I know the story between y'all, and that's something I want to touch base on. Like, along the years, I've known you and Tank had your ups and downs in and outside the ring. And it's hard. It's hard because, you have outsiders coming in, they whispering in his ear, they telling him this and telling him that. You got coaches getting in their ear, and stuff like that. And you got fighters getting in their ear. And I've been around you sometimes when that's happened. And you've talked to me about it and I've said, hey, man, communicate. And what I liked about it is that, you guys somehow weathered the storm with, all the hate and people trying to pull them away from you or people, media saying Calvin wasn't the one that did this. He had this coach or had that coach in the corner and stuff like that. The way I looked at it is, there were other people there, but the key component was you was always there. The person that knew how to bring him back. I'm saying? If anything went wrong in a fight or anything went wrong in the streets, stuff like that. And I felt like that was the bond that people never really realized. How did you face all that drama? Like all that drama with people getting in their ears and y'all being still one?
Well, My son was the one that discovered Tank. And we used to sit at the table because you remember I had the kid named Ramon Manning. We called him Good and Plenty, winning all the nationals. And Tank used to look up to Ramon. When me and Coach Kenny, his name Kenny Ellis, I call him the Bible. We sit down and talk to Tank, and we already foresee this happening. That's why I say Tank is the generation fighter for this generation to take us to the next generation. And everything that's happening to them, you know, especially in boxing, fighters believe in their coaches, their team, you know what I'm saying, when things go wrong. And we try to show them. And Tank says in an interview, he said, man, if I'm going to fall with my family. So what happened was, it was good that I let him do all the things that he do so he could actually see it. Because now his tempo is different. It's way different. In boxing, we see that a lot. People swoop in, snatch the fighter that actually the coaches and the trainers that put the time in. Because, you know, we wear a lot of hats. We wear a lot of hats. You know what I'm saying? And people we don't get the recognitions that like NBA coaches, college coaches get, you know what I'm saying? Because when that phone pick up, we there. We there, you know. They wait till they get to that level, sign with somebody, woo, 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 and they want to be in their life. For us, we in their life from day one, especially the kid in a situation that don't have his family with him, that having problems and whatnot. You know, right now, that's just like my gym. My gym changed a lot because at first I had a lot of single mothers bringing kids to me. Now I got dads bringing to me. So what I try to do now, I get the dads to work with because I can't be everywhere. But that time that dad spending time with that kid is priceless. It's more than anything. Priceless to see a dad start spending time together. You know, it was once that they was talking about taking the dads out of the corner. I said, man, that's crazy. That's just like, again, they trying to clip that biblical cord from the father and the son being together. You know, so it's bigger than boxing. You know what I'm saying? So we're trying to build a culture that, you know, everybody ain't gonna be a world champion. Everybody ain't gonna be what they can. But I met people that's been in my program as entrepreneurs, business owners, truck drivers, police officers that came through my program, and I can't believe it. And a lot of them come to me and they say, man, your efforts or how you was teaching us to be on point. Boxers know how to prepare. Boxers know how to have their equipment. You know what I'm saying? There's so many lessons inside of what we are teaching. It's unbelievable, but we don't get graded.
Is that part, you know how you said it's becoming clear to me why God put me in this position? Is that part of that? Because it sounds like you think it's broader than just Tank.
Yes, it is. It is. I'm starting to see, especially the situations that's happening to my guy, to actually bring that story out, to let people see it, especially in the boxing world, what's about to come. You know what I'm saying? The boxing is changing. Boxing is changing. And we had people that's in the areas of boxing that's been around to the tradition of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. The conditioning of boxing was great at that particular time, but we had different type of athletes now. And my vision of boxing is it should be just like the NFL and the NBA. You know what I'm saying? As far as promotional companies, managers, medicals, like we get medicals done. It's different from this state, different from that state. It's just so much, you know, when all of them should come in line with each other and build it the same way as the successful NFL and NBA is running it.
What is Upton to you?
That's my church.
Yeah, you know, I've been in that church so many times, and you know, I know that environment.
Like the day I'm supposed to be off, right? But I got like 5 kids going to regionals, but they don't know I'm going with them. So the day I'm gonna go in the gym and work with them.
I love that, man. I love that.
Yeah, I'm going right in the gym and work with them, you know, and go to the regionals with them. You know what I'm saying? Because when they see their coaches grinding, and that keeps me humble. You know what I'm saying? To make me not forget where I came from, because everybody don't understand. It's 2 sides of the coin with me and Tank. Tank saved my life too. Actually forced me not to go back into that world. You with me? Because of finance and everything and whatnot. You know, so everything that's coming to us, that's happened to us, it's not our will, it's the will of our Lord, giving us the blessings to be where we at today.
Not to disrespect you or anything like that, but you know, you did a 10-year stretch, and you know, you came home, and to do that 10-year stretch and evolve into who you became now, what did that 10-year stretch teach you? You know what I mean? To come out and be who you are today.
It taught me so much. It taught me so much because you have a lot of young men that's in the streets. That's okay. You're not disrespecting me. I think that was part of my mission why I went to where I went at. You know what I'm saying? To be able to touch and tell that story because there's a lot of guys that want to turn their life around, but they got to find that niche where they're good at and hold fast to it. I mean, I lost my family, I lost my wife, I lost my house, dealing with this boxing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know it, but Tank do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stacy do.
Yeah.
Truck do. You know what I'm saying? Because they watch me go there and they say, man, you still the same person. Okay, you've been knowing me for years. I ain't let it blemish me. I ain't let it like make me crack. I ain't like let it fold. I just let it just roll with it. Being in that situation, it wasn't a bad situation because I got what I deserved because I was in that life. You know what I'm saying? I got what I deserved in my time to come home. And that's another thing. They don't never give a guy a chance to actually rehabilitate himself when they come back home. So having Philip Spool, and I thank him all the time, gave me a chance to come back in society. I worked my way from pots and pans all the way up as the #1 youngest manager, African-American manager in their system. So everything that I learned for us, the business, I took that, the streets. I took the streets and put it into Phillips. I took the Phillips and put it into boxing. As far as the business wise, you know what I'm saying? And understand you're gonna go through these ups and downs in life and whatnot. It's just how do you come back from it and how you deal with it.
How do you mean, if it's not too personal a question, how do you mean that you lost those things because of boxing? You mean through the sacrifices you've made giving to the sport?
Yeah. I can't tell a kid that I can't get him to the nationals if I can't get him there. I mean, instead of me having to dip into the streets and whatnot, I have friends that's in that world. I went to them, I said, yo, let me hold such and such and such. You know what I'm saying? And get my kids where I need to get them at. You know what I'm saying? And because they see the work I put in with them kids, I have more sponsors from street guys than I have from regular sponsors. You know what I'm saying? Because they believe in what I'm doing. I tell street guys, if you see a kid with some talent, I don't care if it's basketball, singing, drawing, or whatnot. Like I got an artist in my gym. Bring him to the gym so we can cultivate that talent. You know what I'm saying? So we can give him the right resource of changing his life. Them centers, man, mean a lot in them centers, and they take a lot of them away. Like when I go through DC, they centers look immaculate. When I go through Virginia, they centers look immaculate. But if you come to Baltimore, they just starting to catch up, but they're not catering to the inner city kids. They're not going in there trying to snatch them. They are incarcerate them. You know what I'm saying? Put them in a center. And if you don't want to be at the center and find programs to put in there to actually give them something to do. And it don't have to be sport. It could be education. You have a lot of kids with some talent, man, is unreal.
You said something earlier that really also got to me too. You said your son brought you the Tank and stuff like that. And I know you lost your son to these streets too and stuff like that. And how does it feel that you preach that, protecting these kids and doing that? And then, at the same time, these kids can have one foot in the gym and one foot out the gym. And also at the same time, that they're protected when they're with you. And then like even with your son, he's protected when he's with you, but then boom, the streets take him away. How did you stay strong with that?
Like you just talked about, I lost my son. You know what I'm saying? He was in the streets. I call it casualty of war. You know what I'm saying? I gave him the outs to actually not be there, but he chose to go there. That was the results. But them stories that I could sit there and say, I'm one of them. I know how a parent feel when they lose a kid. You know what I'm saying? I could stress, you could hear it come from it. It's not me telling you a story. It's coming from the heart. So all the stories that you hear me talking about, they real live stories. They real live events. They real live pain. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell Tank, I said, yo, we don't fear anything because the pain that we've been through is our fear. We already been there. If you can deal with that, you can deal with anything.
Sure, I respect that, man, And I've seen how strong you guys have gotten together with all the ups and downs and stuff like that. And I know exactly what you mean about the environment. I've been up in and around Baltimore so much. And, I've heard athletes say, man, Baltimore is just a place sometimes you want to come and just die. And I'm like, damn, man. And I know that feeling. I've been around homies and been around you guys. And what does that community mean to you? Like, even though you watch it and you see people not trying to help and all that stuff like that.
The main thing I'm trying to change, because, Baltimore is known for their seafood, the crab. And they sit there and make the statement that Baltimore is one of them cities like the crab. You see you get to the top, try to pull you down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to change that. You know what I'm saying? That's not true. I'm trying to get guys to help one another. I don't give what situation you're in. If we help one another and believe in each other, we can actually pull each other up. And Ken, you know that. That's how we do it. We've been doing that That concept came from the amateur boxers, coaches working together, because we all teaching the same thing but different ways. But it's
True
the
that.
same concept. You still got to throw the jab. You still got to throw the right hand. You still got all that is university teaching.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
true.
the thing is, if I can take that same concept and anybody that's in my circle or around me, like, yo, I'm not against you, I'm with you. You understand what I'm saying? We competitive. We're going to be competitive. But at the same time, if both of us shining, we are. Like everybody that, in my mind, everybody that Tank competed against, you understand? When I get you that mega fight, I'm going to ask them to come out and work with Tank. You with me? That's giving back. That's keeping them notified. Like when I see the old greats get together, when they go to the when they go away and talk about, all of them get along. They talk about the battles that they had, but they sit there smiling, laughing, having fun, and being thankful where they at today.
No, that's true.
They
That's very
lessons
true.
right there. They lessons of the elders that started before us.
Being that Tank is this generation now, you said something about coaches and fighters getting together. Do you feel the egotistic from other coaches? Like, do you feel like it's still like that where, coaches support one another and helping one another? Or is it more like you kind of see the hate, but you just stay to yourself?
I said I stay in my lane, but you can tell when a coach is for you or when a person is not for you. That's just what you call it. You know what I'm saying? If they want their space, I give them that space. I'm like this. I don't talk about it, but when I see a person doing wrong, I stay away from it because I don't need that type of energy around me. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a bigger purpose and I'm trying to serve that purpose before I leave this world.
After the fight at the weekend, you guys announced that, Tank reconfirmed that the fight that he wants next is the Ryan Garcia fight, and that you guys
Ron did that. he tweeted the date out. We was at a press conference. They done a Tank been talking trash on Twitter all the time. So Ron, we just waiting to make sure everything. Tank's obviously they say everything Ron wanted. We wanted. They throw it at him and whatnot. So only thing we do, he tweeted the date out. Tank will take a little vacation and we right back in the joint. We right back in there getting ready for Ron.
Little vacation means what? Work would start again when? Ideally.
Well, the vacation for me is working on GTD. That's the next step. You know what I'm saying? Because Tank want to help raise young fighters and help them. You know what I'm saying? He want to be the leader because like Kay there's a lot of stuff going with boxing and we think young boxers should stay busier more than older boxers, right, Kay?
Yes, indeed.
You know what I'm saying? So we're trying to work on that. We're trying to work on that, just trying to, like I try to tell Tank, I said, we don't have to sign everybody. Just always give them an hour leave. You know what I'm saying? And show their talent. And, it's when a fighter got to fight and getting ready for a fight, man, that's like Christmas to him. Am I right or wrong, Kay?
Definitely right.
You have a lot of young fighters out there. They don't get the opportunities because people look at the money first, other than just working on the talent. So I'm trying to take that concept of the amateur approach. We was fighting for trophies at first.
Yes, indeed.
What's the difference?
True.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
So just trying to figure it out as I go along. But I think my Lord is going to bless me where I can have the platform and the avenue to be able to do what I want to do with the young youth that's, chasing that journey.
A lot of people just look at you for Tank, but man, a lot of people don't know about Lorenzo.
No, they don't.
Lorenzo,
they don't.
A lot of people don't know about Lorenzo and, tell them about that relationship, of Lorenzo, you and Tank.
He's the baby out of them too. He was the last of the kids that came in the fold. And he was supposed to went to the Olympics, but what happened with the COVID, he made a decision to actually go turn pro and whatnot. And he had his ups and downs and stuff that he went through because I was going through what I was going through. Tank was going through what he went through. But we always shelter Lorenzo. He's a sighted boxer. Can't wait till we get him back on track so the world can really see the talent that he had. Kay brought him up because Kay loved him too.
That's my boy.
And all the top-notch fighters that know him, they said, yo, Shorty like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just getting him back on track and whatnot. So I just can't wait. I call it the last of my creation.
Do you really believe that's the last of your creation, though?
No, because that's why I'm going back in the gym. I got a little kid named Naeem Somerville. He came in second in the U.S. You know what I'm saying? He saved my soul one time when I was going through this transition with Tank and all them during the pro, and I got to a point that I didn't want to do it. And he gave me a hug and said, Coach, I got you. So I have him. And I got another kid named Time Machine that he's like that too. And then I got so many kids in my gym that's Kenny used to always say, they say, you ain't gonna stop until you about 80 years old because you keep grabbing kids and you just be turning them around. We got so many kids that's coming out of there, you know. We got so many kids coming out of there, man. I just want to give them a chance and an opportunity that you know, to fly if they want to.
So you had that feeling of you wanted to walk away from this before. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
ain't no
You know what I mean? That's something that you don't hear from a lot of people. Like, admit that, open up about that. You know what I mean? Tell us a little bit about that.
It happened because I'm more at peace with the amateurs because there's nothing involved with it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
I'm
that
at
pro
peace
game
with
is
the
different.
amateurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at peace with the amateurs. And when it comes to the pros, it's like, man, I ain't got time for that. And then, you know, like KU was saying, everybody was trying to steal, pull, and people don't really know me. They really, really, really don't know me. I'm humble because I have to be humble.
Exactly.
But the people that really know me, I'm not the one to be playing with. You know what I'm saying? And I try to keep that locked in. You know what I'm saying? That it's just boxing, but people treat it like something else. And then the bad thing about it, my heart is into this. I'm not chasing dollars. I'm chasing to change someone's life when they come through that door with a dream.
Man, say that again, man, because there's so many people out here, these kids. I think athletes don't never realize that, like, it's harder for the coach because of, you know, everybody's going to say yes to you, to the coach. But they're going to give, yes to the athlete, but they're going to give the coach a hard time. You know what I'm saying? The coach ain't going to get treated the same as the athlete.
That's what I was saying about boxing coaches. They don't understand the pain that we go through with these athletes to get them where they at and whatnot. And I even said that about our USA team. You know what I'm saying? They changed the format that was winning. You know what I'm saying? They changed the format, and you wondering why we don't have them Olympian gold medalists. You know what I'm saying? You know, because they don't let the guys that's in the mud do what they do.
Yeah. They keep
Let
them,
them do what they do.
Yeah.
Guess what? We're gonna have some great gems come out of it. You know how you're looking for gold, you gotta go through that, you gotta shift through that mud. When you're looking for diamonds, you gotta break that rock. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, but they gotta let the guys do what they do, man. They gotta let the guys do what they do, and then instead of going to the athlete, go through the coaches, because the coaches know them better than they self.
Yeah, you gotta be able to have that communication with the coach, because here you have a kid that you don't know. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just go off of the kid's talent, but they don't know there's more. You have to go and call that coach and ask what pushes that kid, what brings him down, what brings her up, you know, and stuff like that. And I'm a firm believer of communicating with that coach, because that coach is going to help you get to where
going to tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to tell you. I had situations where I wasn't even from DC, and guys left me with their kid. And I said, y'all, I'm not from DC. But when they got their kid back, I said, I gave him the same way you gave him to me, I gave him back to you. You know? And they say, man, Coach crazy. I said, nah, man, because I put my life into it, you know, and there's so many kids. Like all of them that see me, they say, yo, that's Coach. They know me the same way. And they say, yo, he always the same way. He always the same way. Because at the end of the day, man, it's about the coaching. It's about the helping. It's about learning. It's about so many things that they are offering us that makes us who we are.
You guys obviously both relate on this idea of this pain that you go through as a coach. What is the pain that you'll go through as coaches?
Hey, man, if they can put something in our head and pull all that out, man, it'll be an amazing story that you'll get a Grammy with.
It's crazy. You said something right. You was like, man, you know, I lost my wife. I lost my kids. I lost that. Like, you know, sometimes I think athletes and people on the outside, they don't see that. They don't see the sacrifice you take and the stress that it brings to you that might make you do something, might make you shy away as a coach sometimes, you know what I'm saying, when you're in the gym, because you don't know, you're away from your kids, you're away from your woman, you know what I'm saying? You're away from your family, your friends and all that stuff like that. And I think sometimes athletes don't see that because other people come on in and they kind of like try to take that space from you and shower them, not knowing you really going through something. So yeah, it's like you have those people that are out there waiting for you to have that moment. Oh, Coach Calvin got issues at home. Oh, I'm going to come on in right now. Coach Calvin got problems that he can't be at the gym right now. So I'm going to slide on right in. And with your team now, you have a tight team from the strength coach to Kenny. You know, I see that tightness. And I forgot the gentleman that helps, the white gentleman that helps Tank out, but I see it's
That's
always
Lord.
y'all. Yeah,
It's the
Lord, I see y'all. Yeah,
same system,
I like that.
same
That's a great
system,
team. I
same
like that,
system,
man.
same system that we put together, and everybody, and we got to get our roles are changing. And I said, yo, and we sit down in camp. We sit down in camp, and I said, yo, we got to get better at what we're doing. He said, yo, what you talking about? I said, yo, because things are about to change because we're going to be looked at different now. I said, I don't have Mayweather Promotion taking care of stuff. We have to put these systems in place. And I said that, and that's where the teachings where Phillips comes in. I said, sometimes you have to outsource. If you can't learn it and they fit the system, bring them in. You learn it, pay them, send them on their way. Because they have to understand this is our system. And it's not about the money with us. I tell them all the time, I say, if you chasing money, you can't be with me. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's about relationship. We can tell stories together. We can sit down and eat, and we're not mad at each other about money. Money comes and goes. It's man made. You know what I'm saying? But the thing, I want to make sure your family good, you ain't stressing. You can cry on my shoulder, I can cry on your shoulder, and we can keep it moving. You know, because that when all this is over with, you only got yourself.
How hard is it to find that kind of brotherhood in boxing, though?
It is. It's there. You can tell. You can feel it. You can feel it in your chest. You could tell it. When I say things out my mouth, you feel it, don't you, Kate?
Yeah, I know what you, because I know what you're
You
talking
can
about. I
reflect
know.
on it.
Yeah,
You
I
can
know.
reflect on it.
Shit, man, I walk, that same walk you walk. And like you said, people's vision is more about the money, more about the light. To find people that's not about that, it's hard. But like you said, you can feel it when somebody's walking that same walk with you. They don't got to be similar, but they know, like, man, look.
But he can say certain things that make you go like this. You can feel it. That's like when Michael Jordan was playing basketball. He wasn't the highest paid player. But look at him. He everlasting right now. He's still getting
there you go. And that's how I look at it. Like, you guys are worried about the money now. But, you keep on building and building. You're going to get there together, and it's going to be beautiful.
Right.
It's to protect the athlete, to make an athlete be able to walk this walk that you tried to walk before. And, you had some bumps. But to protect them and watch them become fathers or mothers or whatever.
Oh, man, that's beautiful, man.
That's more than money, you know what I mean?
That's beautiful, man.
It's hard because, you do have the people that's like, nah, man, you can make this money, you can make that. Yeah, you can do that. But at the same time, you can make that and be secure with the person that actually is really not thinking about that dollar. They thinking about the joy, the laughter, like you said, sitting down, talking, communicating with one another and growing. So I definitely understand what you mean by that. And what do you want for Calvin?
I'm just trying, when I leave this world, they're going to talk about me when I'm gone.
Believe me, my brother, they talking about you now. Even the haters, no matter what.
When I leave, I want them to use the lessons that I have walking this life and run with it.
And here goes one for you. I was telling Kate, Calvin's humble because for what you and Tank have done, no one's ever said Coach Calvin should be Coach of the Year. I know that. And I'm not saying you're looking for that. Because I can't say you gotta be Coach of the Year. You've been Coach of the Year for multiple years, what I'm saying, since growing up. So it's just like, I don't hear that. I don't hear that, you know what I mean? It's just like what you and Tank have done together, what you and Truck have done together, what you and Tyrisha and all other athletes have done together.
So you know all the athletes.
So I know the history. So it's like, I'm watching this and I'm like, man, y'all don't know where this man came from. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying everybody doesn't come from the bottom. But you're a living testimony of a person that came from the bottom and still walking outside your door and haven't changed, whether it's your house or your gym. And that, to me, you are the Coach of the Year in multiple years, you know what I'm saying? And to take Tank, like you said, going through all those trials and tribulations and still, you know what I'm saying, having this kid become a champion in different weight classes and, you know what I'm saying, also becoming a champion because Tank has really changed. You know what I'm saying? Like Tank from hanging out, drinking, weight problems, getting in trouble. I love who Tank has become. He's talking more. Remember, Tank used to never talk. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll talk to you if he mess with you. But like now I like that he's trying to talk, you know what I'm saying? He's taking his time. He's not getting upset what people are saying. He's smiling more. Like, man, it used to be hard to see Tank smile. You know what I'm saying? But like that, I feel like that comes from you guys. That love, you still being there, you still pushing them.
Hey, listen, we are here for a reason. And I'm just thanking my Lord for letting me be on these platforms, man, so I can say something to make them look and they say, yo, that's where the source at, man. Just being humble, being loyal to my team. That's I say something. I say, yo, you got a yes man around you. I want the work. I want the person that's gonna get on me.
The annoying person, the annoying voice.
Yeah, I want that person because that person is actually making me tough. So when the bullets hit me, it's bouncing off. But I got a yes man. He taking the shield down, and I'm gonna walk into anything.
Man, say that again, because man, I see so many yes men, and I see so many of these kids gravitate towards these yes men, and I guess because they're the ones in the light, they don't recognize they're yes men, but they're not protecting you. They really put you in danger. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be the person that's not the annoying voice, or the person that sees the yes man that's gonna come in there and protect you. Take that bullet for you for real. You know what I'm saying? So. You know, you just said something that really touched home right there, you know what I'm saying? Because it is a lot of yes men out here.
It's a lot of them, man. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
See what I just did?
Nah, you're right. You're right. Nah, that's real, you know what I'm saying? You know, and that's why I feel like people that interview people don't really get to the truth. You know what I'm saying? They wanna ask questions for themselves, but you touching real facts. You really letting it out right here.
That's what I believe my mission is just tell the truth, what I'm going through, and just be honest about it, because somebody else is going through the same thing I'm going through.
Yeah, man. People trying to portray, oh, Calvin's bad, Calvin did this, Calvin did that. And, you've gone through that. And, I've seen you sit down with your kid and be like, hey, man, I'm going to make mistakes as I grow up. Mm-hmm. My job is to make sure you don't make the mistakes that I make. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
that's what it's about.
People pointing out my mistakes. I'm not going to run from them. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here to make you better.
And I think that's what it's all about, because everybody know I've been in. Everybody know what I've been doing, so I don't hide it. I can speak my truth and stand firm on it. But ask me what I'm doing now.
Yeah, man. You're going to still make some mistakes now, but you're going to learn from them, right?
Right.
It's better out here than in there.
They're there to make you a better person.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are, man. Damn, man, I appreciate you so much, man.
Look how you feel. Look how
you know what I'm saying? That's how it gotta be, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get the real here. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta get the, you know what I'm saying, the stuff that people really need to know. You know what I mean? And I'm always respect you for that, man, and I'm always, salute you. You're always gonna get a text from me and telling you I'm proud of y'all, what y'all doing.
Every time when you call, I pick up. When I call, you pick up. I appreciate that, man.
You let Tank know I love him. I appreciate what he's doing. He's doing great. Kenny and you guys, man, y'all doing beautiful in Upton. Keep on saving the kids. Keep on doing for the community. And, also don't forget about yourself, man. Don't forget about loving yourself.
I'm like this. If I keep throwing good at the wall, good going to come back at me. You know what I'm saying? We can only have with our blessings that come to us, So right now, this is a blessing to me.
I feel like Tank is a rock star. The reason I say he's a rock star because he's just so humble. He's so chill. And the world's just gravitating towards him. And it's crazy how he's doing it without even opening his mouth too much. He just steps in the ring and everybody goes crazy. You like that? You like that feeling that that your kid's still Tank and the world just loves him?
I still don't look at it like that. I still look at him as Tank to me. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is.
I look at him as Tank to me, and he's coming into his own manhood. He's awakened now. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part that I like, because now, we were sitting in the gym one night, and he had the floor. And it was guys, I'm 58. Everybody that was there was older than Tank, and he had the floor. And everybody was quiet.
Yeah.
And I wish, I said to my podcast guys, I said, yo, y'all didn't have the camera rolling? He said, yo, it was so deep, we couldn't even touch the camera because we was stuck. They had Tank talking like that. And he touched so many topics on how he was feeling. And it was for real. And I said, yo, he's talking to us, but at the same time, he's crying out to us like, yo, we got to keep this thing tight, get better at what we're doing. And I heard it from him personally.
One final question before you go, because you talked about Tank as a rock star, right? Which Ryan Garcia is in his own way as well. Different kind of away from Tank, but he's got that massive social media following. He's a good-looking kid. He's got all his sponsorships and all of that going on. I guess I just wonder, why is that the fight that you guys prioritize? Why is that the one that Tank seems to be vocally calling for when you have a Devin Haney out there who's undisputed in all the belts?
again, the belts, they belts. I call them jewelry. Everybody gets them and they leave and whatnot. But when you look at the whole landscape of everything, Ron has a different type of fan base.
I
I
like
don't care what
that.
nobody say. If you look at everybody's fan base, it's different.
He's a kid that's doing it without a belt. You know what I'm saying? He's doing it without a belt. And you know what I mean? The people love him. You know what I'm saying? It's like kind of like Oscar De La Hoya without no belt.
See, there you paying attention. You know what I'm saying? He had the face. He had the
Yeah,
face.
his face. No,
He
he's
had
earned
the
his, he's
face.
earned that face. He's earned that face. He's gone out there. His people have moved him wisely. He came up in the program like Tank and you guys did. And you know, you can't hate on none of that. You know what I'm saying? People can try to hate on it, but you know, he gets in the ring just like you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You gotta respect it. Where do you think Tank will stop on his vision? Like, when do you think he'll stop? Like, man, I've conquered this. I've done this. I'm through. Like, do you think there's a certain weight division? There's a certain number? Or do you think he just wants to keep on doing it?
Right now, he want to explore other things. You know, all great fighters get to a point that they want to get a rest to you know, spend time with their family, enjoy their life a little bit. And how many times we seen all the greats retire and come back?
True that.
They just need a rest, especially our guys. Our guys been fighting since they was little.
True.
So at some point they need the rest to you know, to rejuvenate themselves, you know, to love the sport even more, to keep pushing and whatnot, you know. And I think, you know, Ron is the pinnacle fight for him right now to go over to that I call millennium. That millennium look, that Godzilla look, you know, where I think when he get there, they say he want to come down and touch the ground again before he start back up again, you know.
Gotcha.
So you just gotta just let him go through his transition, and I sit back. I'm a history type of guy. I always go look at the history because that's how the stocks is. It's up and it's down, you know. So I go back and look at things like that, and I sit there and say, well, Ron and them is that fight, and that's what I'm saying about the generation. That's the fight that's this generation, Floyd and Oscar fight. You with me? And then
I definitely see
asked
that.
me about other fights, I said, them fights going to happen. It's just a time for them fights. And when it's going to fight. If we look at all the fights that we all want to see, they happened at the time when it was supposed to happen.
One more thing. You said in your fight that, you know, you don't train for everybody the same. You know what I mean? People expect certain things. And like I told Kate, like, you know, there's a reason why, you know, maybe people didn't see Tank's defense a certain way or see his punches a certain way because, you know, you and him watching the fight probably saying, okay, yes, he has power this way if you give it to him this way. Yes, we can take his jab for a reason because us taking the jab might be his only safety net. You know, how do you feel about that? Like when people try to judge you, but you kind of told people the answer, like, no, man, we don't train like this. We do certain things for a reason because we see this.
When I look at things like that, like I tell Tank, don't look at the fight.
Yeah.
Tank, don't look at the fight. I don't need you worrying about that. That's my job. That's Kenny's job. When I look at fights, I'm fighting a different human being, a different athlete, a different person. I add all that stuff up. So the mindset I go in there with is the mental mindset of that athlete. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When you got an athlete, is that athlete, you have to get your athlete on that same level that athlete is on. The rest is going to pan out because the fight goes like this.
So
you know what I'm saying? So whatever's going to happen is going to happen on the levels that both of them, because both of them have to bring what you've been working on out to the fold of that ring. You know what I'm saying?
So when you say don't look at the fight, are you saying don't watch tape?
Tank don't watch tapes.
Okay.
They don't watch tapes. You know what I'm saying? Because what happens is that fighter might not fight the same way that you think he's going to fight.
So true. Yeah.
Do you do the same thing?
That's my philosophy. My philosophy is like, you know, if you're a real coach, you might look at some things and then you might be like, man, look, man, that guy's not going to fight me the same way he fought that person.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you have to think outside that box. You know what I mean? You know, everyone's not the same. You know what I mean? So I understand what Calvin's saying is because, you know, it's certain things that you can look for and say, okay, he does this. He does do this consistently. You know what I'm saying? He does do that. But you can't say, oh, Garcia's going to fight Tank the same way he fought Cobra.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Because then if you look at that, you kind of like taking away your talent of your athlete because your athlete isn't Christopher Cobra. You know what I'm saying? Your athlete is Tank Davis. You know what I'm saying? You know what Tank Davis's skill level is. You know what he can do. He can probably pick up, if you say, all right, Tank, I need you to pick it up now.
Mm-hmm.
Tank can probably turn that switch on. You know what I'm saying? Some guys, they can't turn that switch on. They probably got to wait till the 8th and 7th round. You're like, now we're behind. Now we're playing catch up. But he knows this. He knows his athlete. So I respect that, because that is a way of, I think about it too. Like, man, every fighter is not the same.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, people watch Floyd Mayweather and try to mimic Floyd Mayweather, but they never can do it.
You see the results. Everybody try to be Floyd. What happens?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Floyd is Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Like, Floyd is Floyd. Ray Leonard's Ray Leonard. Pernell Whitaker's Pernell Whitaker. All you can do is take things from them and try to make it your own. You know what I'm saying? And with a good coach, they're going to say, okay, I see what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to implement. Okay, let me help you with that to make you get comfortable and not get frustrated with trying to do what Floyd was doing or Pernell was trying to do. Because you have your own style. It's adding to your own style. It's a toolbox. You know what I'm saying? You want to put a lot in that toolbox that you can use this tool, use that tool, whenever it is. And a coach like Calvin can say, hey, man, you remember that move we was working on? This one will work with him. I definitely understand what you're saying. And, I don't know, man. I think this Ryan fight, man, if it pans out to be what it is, man, do you think that'll be a Ryan and Tank 2, or you think it's just going to be one?
Somebody asked me a question like, did I like him better when he was with I did like him better when he was with
Eddie Reynoso.
Canelo coach. Yeah, I like him better. But Goossen is an old school coach. And he had champions too. And he developed not just one champion, he developed several champions. You know what I'm saying? So looking at this matchup, right? It's a great matchup. You know what I'm saying? Because I know Goossen going way back in the bag of the deep in the bag.
Yeah.
So I have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Because his extensive boxing is a little bit deeper than mine. You with me saying? But
I dig it.
Bible coach Kenny Ellis, he don't miss a beat. You know what I'm saying? So we've been together for so many years, and everything that we worked on, and everybody that we the difference between Goossen and me, I'm going back in the lab.
Yeah, that's how it is, man.
I'm going in the lab. I stays in the lab.
So you feel like this is a battle with you too, you know what I'm saying? Like you waking up in this one.
I have my strength too versus his, you know what I'm saying? So, I put that out there. So, like he practicing with one fighter, I have many to practice with.
No question, man. I like that. I like the way you look at that, you know what I'm saying? That, this is just not a battle with Tank and Ryan. It's also a battle for me too to step up against a legendary coach like him who has a history of making champions and fight guys like this.
Yeah, you have to, because he is legendary. His school of thought goes way back. Me getting past. It's not the thing of getting past Ron.
It's the team. Yeah, it's the mindset, the team. They come together. Yeah.
Right. So again, I don't just think about the athlete. I'm thinking about the whole situation.
So true, man. Like I said, man, I respect everything you've been doing out there. You know what I mean? It's always a pleasure talking to you, man. And I know you got a lot to do. Good luck at the regionals. Good luck with your kids. Much love to your family and everything. And, man, God bless you, man.
Nice talking to you, too, man.
Always,
I enjoy both. Great questions, great questions. Y'all brought the best out of me today.
Hey, man, I want the world to see Calvin. I don't want the world to see some fake Calvin. I know the real Calvin. I want that Calvin.
Because you've been around. You've been through the trenches with him.
Man, and you still in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? You still coming out the trenches. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm like the predator. They dropping me in the jungle, man.
Hey, but look, that jungle, man, that's a beautiful jungle, man.
Yeah,
no matter what the people try to portray about Baltimore, that's a beautiful damn jungle, man, because you're saving a lot of lives and you're giving a lot of people hope. And I see the difference in Baltimore now. You guys are the face of Baltimore. And it's not in a cocky, conceited way, but you guys are the face of Baltimore and saving lives. To whether, like you said, everyone's not going to be a national champion. Everybody's not going to be a world champion, but everybody can be somebody. And I like that you're saying, you can come to my gym. You ain't got to become Tank. You ain't got to become Truck. Just come to the gym and hang out. Come chill.
Yeah. Because I know at that time you in the gym, you ain't out doing something stupid.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to hear about this kid. Like, damn, man, this kid was just with me. Now he done got shot, he done got locked up. And I like the mindset. Oh, believe me, I like that mindset. And that's why I say, man, keep on painting that beautiful picture in that jungle, man. Keep on letting these kids and parents, everyone know, like, man, it's just not about kids, it's about everybody. Keep on painting that picture, man.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I love it.
I
I love that,
appreciate
man.
you, K, man.
Respect.
Keep doing what you're doing, man.
All good, bro.
My
Respect.
man.
Thank you so
Peace.
much.
Later.
Y'all have
Peace.
a great one here.